3-8. This is an adversary hearing involving the Taylor child. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Slater is the father, is in the waiting room. I'm getting him in now. He's an alleged father. Ms. Taylor, the mother, is not with us, and she is not in the waiting room. And we have another alleged father, Lyle Potter. He is not with us. He's not in the waiting room. This case was set for 9:15. It's now 9:50. We will proceed in Ms. Taylor, Mr. Potter, and Mr. Potter's absence. I have Emily Braden in the waiting room. You're muted, Ms. Gutierrez.
Yes, Your Honor, that's my investigator.
Okay, we'll get her in. Let me go ahead before we get started. I'm sorry, I said Slater and I meant Salter. I apologize for that. Mr. Salter, if you would unmute, please.
This case starts like a damn mystery novel. The mom is a no-show. The presumed dad is missing. One alleged father just entered the chat. And a 3-year-old little girl, Kaisley, is at the center of it all. Buckle in, because we've got a car crash, a fractured femur, a drug-laced household, and a courtroom scrambling to figure out who's even eligible to protect this child. And the real chaos? It hasn't even started yet.
All right.
There you go, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
All right, Mr. Salter, I need to admonish you. They have pledged you in this case as what's called an alleged father, which basically tells me that at the time that the child was born, you were not married to Miss Taylor. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you at the hospital when, is it Kaisley? Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes. I was at the hospital when she was born. Yes, sir.
All right. Do you recall, did anyone from the hospital staff give you some paperwork to sign, which is called an acknowledgement of paternity, whereby you said that you were acknowledging you were the biological father?
I don't know if they did. Honestly, it's been a while, and I do know that they said I couldn't sign the birth certificate, and that's what I do remember. Okay. So I do apologize. If they did give me paperwork, I'm not aware of it. It's been 3 years.
I understand. That's perfectly fine. So I need to tell you, since you're an alleged father, you have the absolute right to have paternity testing to show that you either are or you are not the biological father of this child. Do you understand that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to ask for paternity testing?
Now that we've got Jonathan Salter in the room, the judge clarifies that he's listed as an alleged father. That's not just legal jargon. It means Salter has no rights yet. No automatic attorney, no visitation authority. The judge is methodically walking him through what he can do next, mainly take a paternity test. This is all about establishing legal footing. Without proof, he's just another name on paper.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, all right. I'll make note of that. We'll go ahead and I'll make that part of my order when we conclude this hearing. We'll go ahead. We have time limits, so we have to go ahead with the adversary hearing. I cannot appoint you an attorney at this point. Once you take the paternity test, if you are in fact the biological father, then you have the right to an attorney. And if you can't afford an attorney at that point, you'll have the right to ask that I consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney at no cost to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Salter agrees to paternity testing, and that's a major turning point. If the test proves he's the biological dad, it opens the door to representation, custody petitions, and visitation rights. But until then, the court treats him like an outsider. This is why fathers showing up early and signing the right documents at birth can make or break these cases.
Okay, so if it comes back you are the father and you can't afford an attorney, just get with anyone from St. Francis, the department, or you can contact my office to get the paperwork to fill out to ask for that court-appointed attorney, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then. Ms. Gutierrez, no one else is in my waiting room. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do ask the court as well to take note that Mr. Potter is filed as a presumed father.
Oh, okay.
Well.
I'm sorry, I had him. Okay.
That's okay, but I think genetic testing is the best thing in this case, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
I also ask that the court take judicial notice of the 3010 forms filed with the clerk on September 19th of 2025.
Okay. What's a 3010 form?
That is a notification of rights that includes what's now statutorily required for the department to inform alleged perpetrators before the interview of things like their rights to an attorney, their rights to record the interview, and things like that.
I knew what that was. I just didn't know it had a number to it. So, okay, I will take note of that.
Let's talk about these 3010 forms. These aren't just routine paperwork. They're what guarantees the parent knows their rights before CPS starts questioning them. That includes the right to record interviews and the right to an attorney. When the court takes judicial notice, it means those rights were officially acknowledged and locked into record. If someone tries to challenge that later, it's already handled.
I should have known everything has a number to it. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next request that the court confirm with Mr. Salter that that notification of rights was reviewed with him, including his right to confer with an attorney before discussing anything with the department, as well as his right to record the interview.
All right, Mr. Salter, were you provided that form and read your rights?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Emily Braden as its witness.
All right. Ms. Braden, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Emily, who do you work for?
I work for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an investigator.
And have you investigated an intake regarding the child Kaisley Salter Taylor?
Yes, I have.
And is the mother of Kaisley Whitney Taylor?
Yes.
And is Kaisley's date of birth July 23rd of 2022?
Yes.
Who is the child's presumed father?
Lyle Potter.
And who is the child's alleged father?
Jonathan Salter.
And did you receive an intake on August 8th of 2025?
The department received an intake with those allegations, yes.
And was it on that date?
Yes.
Can you tell us what those intake allegations were?
There were concerns about Whitney Taylor getting into a car accident with Kaisley in the vehicle. There were concerns about the conditions of Kaisley whenever she was taken into the hospital for medical care in regards to physical neglect, her physical well-being, being dirty and uncared for.
Here comes Emily Braden, the investigator, and she wastes no time. We get the full timeline of concern. A car crash with Kaisley in the vehicle. Hygiene so bad the hospital staff had to wash the child before treating her, and suspicions of medical and physical neglect. In court, hygiene plus injury equals red flags everywhere, and this is just the first layer of the onion.
Okay, and how was her hygiene described in the intake?
They described that they had to... I apologize.
She's having a medical.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Somebody had to come into my office very quickly. There were concerns that she had matted hair and she needed to be washed down by medical staff before they were able to provide medical care.
Thank you, Emily. Based on this intake, did investigator Ashley Delgado make contact or attempt to make contact with the family?
Yes, she did.
Okay, and did she receive that initial report on August 11th, 2025?
That's correct.
And by saying that, I mean, was she assigned to that intake on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And based on that, did she go out to inspect the car that the child had been in during Ms. Taylor's wreck?
Yes, she did.
Can you tell us a little bit about what she observed when observing the car?
Yes, in the car, she observed a car seat that was not appropriate for Kaisley's age or development. It was more like a booster seat, and she needed a slightly smaller car seat. The conditions of the car were obviously wrecked from impact during the accident. And the inside of the car was full of belongings, very little room for anybody to sit besides the driver, all the way up to the spot where the car seat was at. There were belongings from top to bottom inside the cab of the vehicle.
And what concerning observation did Ms. Delgado make about the seat belt that would have been used to strap in the car seat Paisley was in?
The seatbelt was observed to be lodged underneath a whole bunch of belongings, which led Investigator Delgado, as well as the other special investigator that was out there, to believe that the car seat was not, or that Paisley was not buckled in when the accident occurred, which led her to move forward.
This part is brutal. The car seat wasn't age appropriate, and the seatbelt was buried under junk, leading CPS to believe Paisley wasn't even strapped in during the crash. That's how she likely fractured her femur. In family court, this isn't just poor judgment. It's potentially criminal negligence. The judge won't let that slide.
Causing the fracture in her femur.
Okay, thank you. Following that, did Investigator Delgado next visit what she thought was Ms. Taylor's boyfriend, Blake Vargas?
Yeah.
And who answered the door at Mr. Vargas's residence?
A woman named Crystal Schultz answered the door. Her relationship to Mr. Vargas is unknown, but she did present with a black eye, and she appeared very fearful, and she confirmed that Whitney and the kiddo were staying at that residence.
At the boyfriend's house, CPS finds a mystery woman with a black eye, looking terrified. The boyfriend? Hostile, profane, and uncooperative. It's not illegal to be a jerk, but this paints a picture of a volatile, unsafe household, and it's directly tied to where mom and the child were living. That's a massive red flag for immediate removal.
Okay. See? And did Mr. Vargas later speak with Investigator Delgado?
Yes, he was not cooperative. He used a lot of profanity and told her to get off of his property.
Did he also refuse to disclose where Miss Taylor and the child were located at?
Yes, that's correct.
For the record, Ms. Gutierrez, is it Vargas, Vargas?
Oh, it's Vargas, but with a B, Bargas.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go
And
ahead.
Emily, did Investigator Delgado also contact Mr. Salter, the alleged father?
Yes, she did.
Okay, and what did Mr. Salter explain to Investor Delgado?
He explained that he didn't have any legal guardianship of Paisley since Miss Taylor was married at the time that Paisley was born. He talked about having a relationship with Paisley. However, he just didn't have any sort of guardianship to care for her.
Okay. And did he also state that he was unsure about the whereabouts of Paisley and Miss Taylor?
Yes, I believe so.
Right.
I don't know.
And well, they had the investigation. Investigator Delgado, did she make several attempts to contact Miss Taylor that were unsuccessful?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And due to that, was the child placed on the Child Safety Check Alert List, or also known as C-Scout?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And can you explain what a child being placed on that list does?
Yes, so what happens whenever a child is placed on a C-Scout, they are put on a notification to law enforcement. So if at any point in time Miss Taylor were to be stopped during like a traffic stop or anything like that, it would notify the officer that the department is looking for this family, for this child.
Let's break this down. When CPS can't find the child, they use the Child Safety Check Alert List, or CC Scout. That sends a flag to any cop who pulls the parent over. Sure enough, mom gets stopped weeks later, and she's not alone. She's with a felon on probation. That's not random. That's a pattern.
And they are to notify CPS immediately.
Okay, thank you. And then on September 9th of 2025, was Miss Taylor pulled over by Amarillo Police Department?
Yes, she was.
And during that traffic stop, who is she identified to be with?
She was identified to be with Isaiah Valdez, who we were able to confirm is a offender.
Okay, and whose vehicle was she in?
She was in her employer's vehicle. His name is Harold Bashaw.
And what information do you have on Mr. Bashaw regarding a September 2nd, 2025 arrest?
He was arrested on September 2nd for large amounts of meth and pills.
Okay, Your Honor, the department offers petitioner's exhibit number 4, a police report on Mr. Bashaw.
All right, any objections?
No objection, Judge.
All right, petitioner's 4 is admitted.
Thank you. Emily, can you please spell Mr. Bashaw's full name?
Harold, last name Bashaw.
So let's talk about Mom's boss, Harold Bashaw. The guy whose car she was driving? He was just arrested for large quantities of meth and pills. Not only is she living with him, she's also around his wife and teen daughter. The chaos surrounding this child is stacking up: drugs, unstable housing, multiple unknown adults. The court doesn't need a conviction to act. They just need a preponderance of risk.
Thank you. And during her conversation with APD, did Ms. Taylor confirm that she resides with Mr. Bashaw?
Yes, she did.
Let's see. Following that, were you reassigned as the investigator to this intake?
Yes, I was.
And based on receiving that intake, did you again attempt to make contact with the family?
Yes, I was able to make contact with Kaisley at the babysitter's residence. Her name is Angelica Garcia.
Can you tell us how long Ms. Garcia stated she has been taking care of Kaisley for?
She has cared for Kaisley since she was a baby, since she was an infant. She knew, or one of her daughters knew Miss Taylor, and so she offered to help babysit Kaisley over the past few years. However, she stopped babysitting full time for her and was just kind of seeing Kaisley whenever she could get the chance to.
Okay. Did she raise any concerns about Ms. Taylor?
She talked about concerns about her stability and having a lot of men around Kaisley. She wasn't sure if Miss Taylor was using any substances or not, said that she wasn't around her enough to know.
Okay. And did you next speak with Mr. Salter, the alleged father, by phone?
Yes, I did.
And did you review his notification of rights?
Yes, I did.
And does that include the right to create an audio or video recording of the interview?
Yes.
As well as request an administrative review of the department's findings?
Yes.
And did he add any additional information other than what he had already provided to Ms. Delgado?
No, I just confirmed the information that he talked with Ms. Delgado about. He had said that he had had regular FaceTime visits with Kaisley, and that was the extent of his knowledge of the home conditions and things like that.
Okay. And did you visit with Ms. Taylor on September 11th of 2025?
Yes, I did.
And was that at a residence located on Paragon Drive?
Yes.
Prior to interviewing Ms. Taylor, did you review the notification of rights form?
Yes, I did.
Did you inform Ms. Taylor of her right to create an audio or video recording of the interview?
Yes.
Did you as well inform her of her right to request?
Here's the part that seals it. After admitting past alcohol use, Mom refuses a hair test, then refuses a urine test when she finds out it'll be observed. That's 2 refusals in a row. In family court, this isn't a loophole, it's a warning sign. Judges are trained to read that as you're hiding something, especially when a kid's safety is at stake.
An administrative review of the department's finding.
Yes.
Did Ms. Taylor indicate that she understood?
Yes.
And did she sign the form?
Yes, she did.
Thank you. Who did Ms. Taylor report residing with Kaisley with?
She reported living in the home with Mr. Bashaw and his wife and their 16-year-old daughter.
Okay. And who did she identify as Kaisley's biological father?
She identified Jonathan Salter.
And did she indicate that she was married to Lyle Potter when she had Kaisley?
Yes.
Is Lyle Potter as well a offender?
Yes.
Okay. And what state is Lyle Potter located in?
Utah.
Thank you. What struggles with substance abuse did Ms. Taylor discuss she had with you?
She reported struggling with alcohol use since she was a teenager. She struggled with use for the past 10 years or so. She has gone to rehab for those things. She specified that she went to rehab um, for alcohol, but that she had been sober for a while until a few months ago. She said that she relapsed on alcohol whenever stressful events occur in her life. And so she reported last using alcohol a week before the accident occurred, which caused the injury to Kaisley, and she reported using meth 2 months prior.
Did she initially agree to submit a drug screen for the department to rule out any concerns of substance abuse?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And what did she state about the accident she was in which Kaisley was injured?
She acknowledged that she was speeding and she rear-ended the vehicle in front of her. She said that Kaisley was buckled in, but that she wasn't in an appropriate car seat.
Okay. And who did she identify as her support system?
The Bashaws.
Did she also indicate that Ms. Garcia was part of her support system?
Yes, she did.
Were you able to observe the home at that visit?
I was only able to see through the front glass door, and what I could see, the home was filled with like construction materials, a lot of stacked items, things that I felt were hazardous to Kaisley.
And based on that, what requests did you make to Ms. Taylor as well as Mr. Bashaw?
I asked them if I could come inside the residence, and both of them told me no. Mr. Bashaw acknowledged that the conditions of the home weren't appropriate for Kaisley, and asked me to give them time to clean it up.
Okay. And so when did you agree to come back?
I agreed to come back the following Monday, and so that gave them about 5 days to clean it up.
And when you returned, had the conditions improved?
They had removed some of the clutter from the home. However, I still had concerns about the construction materials that were in the home, as well as the animals that were in the home.
Okay. Can you give us more details about the clutter in the home that concerned you?
Yeah, there were a lot of tools that were available to Kaisley, especially with her getting her spica cast off soon and being able to get around. I was worried about her having access to one of those and harming herself. There were a lot of items that were stacked and that could.
CPS finally gets a look inside the house and finds clutter, tools, and potential tipping hazards. That might not sound shocking, but with a toddler recovering from a broken femur, it's a recipe for another injury. Add in refusal to let CPS inside earlier, and you've got a pattern of avoidance. Cleanup efforts were partial, but partial doesn't cut it when a child is healing.
Create tipping hazards for her, which could cause injury. Yeah, I think that sums up the clutter.
Okay. Did you also remind Ms. Taylor about drug screening?
Yes, I did.
However, did she refuse to drug screen in your analysis?
Yes, she went to the facility to go drug screen and denied a hair follicle whenever she got there, and then she denied a UA after finding out that it was going to be observed.
On September 15th, 2025, did you speak again with Mr. Salter?
Yes, I did.
And what did he state about Kaisley?
He was happy for Kaisley to come into his care. He wanted Kaisley to come to him. However, he did not have any guardianship. And so we talked about Miss Taylor possibly
Salter's stepping up. He wants the child in his care,
guardianship,
but he doesn't
over
have
to him.
guardianship, and mom isn't agreeing to transfer it. That's frustrating, but this is where family court has to weigh intention versus legal capacity. Salter's willingness counts, but until he clears paternity and passes drug screens, the court can't move the child.
And that was something that we were going to explore with Miss Taylor.
Okay. And you later visited Ms. Taylor on that same day of September 15th of 2025, is that correct?
That's correct.
During that conversation, was Mr. Bashaw present?
Yes, he was.
And was Mrs. Bashaw present as well?
Yes, she was.
What statements did Mr. Bashaw make about using?
He reported using for the past 3 to 4 months. He reported using every 3 to 4 hours. Yeah.
Okay. And based on these concerns of a child being in the home, Did the department have Kaysley drug screened by hair follicle?
Yes, we did.
And did we receive those results back this morning?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us what the results of the child's drug screen are?
Yes, Kaysley was positive for.
Kaysley's hair follicle test came back positive for methamphetamine. There's no spinning that. This means the 3-year-old has been exposed, either through secondhand smoke or environmental contact. And remember, she was just in a wreck, with broken bones, in a house full of tools and animals. This is beyond concerning. It's urgent.
Thank you. Now, during that interview, did Mrs. Bashaw deny any substance use?
Yes, she did.
However, what did you observe while you were speaking with her?
During our conversation, she was falling asleep mid-sentence, to the point where she was being unable to hold herself up or be woken up by Mr. Bashaw.
Okay. And during that interview, did Ms. Taylor state that she would not do a hair follicle drug screen?
Yes, she did.
Did she also state that she would not do a urinalysis screen if it was supervised?
Yes.
What was your next step from there?
I spoke with Ms. Taylor about the possibility of Kaysley going with Mr. Salter, and she denied this. She said that it wasn't something that she felt comfortable with since they had only had FaceTime visitation. She stated that she would have been okay with it if she was going to, but I had already spoken with Mr. Salter, and that wasn't an option at this time because of his living situation. We also talked about if she had any options for supervision, for Miss Taylor to be supervised while caring for Kaysley. She denied this. We talked about working ongoing services through Texas Family First and family-based, and she denied this option as well.
Okay. And those were all reasonable efforts to avoid removal. Is that correct?
Yes, I also offered to do a family team meeting for us to discuss the concerns and figure out a plan for safety, and Miss Taylor was not responsive.
Okay, so both the Family-Based Safety Services Program and the Texas Family First Program, those are programs where a parent is offered services and the child is not removed from the parent. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And these are programs that the mother refused. Is that correct?
That's correct.
The court requires CPS to prove they tried everything before removing a child. Family plans, supervision offers, placement with a parent, and they did. Ms. Taylor declined every option, including a family team meeting that could have kept Kaysley out of state custody. That refusal alone shifts the court's hand. Judges don't remove based on attitude, but lack of action speaks louder than any excuse.
Thank you. See. Later that day, did you talk to Mr. Salter again about Kaysley?
Yes.
And what did he state?
Again, that he was willing to take her into her, he was willing to take Kaysley into his care. There was still just the concern of the guardianship paperwork.
Okay. And however, you had not heard from Ms. Taylor whether or not she had agreed to this as well. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And even if she had still declined to work any services with the department.
That's correct.
Would you agree that the child would still be in immediate danger if the parent was not addressing the substance abuse issues?
Yes, especially because she could pick up Kaysley at any point in time.
Okay. Now, in visiting with Kaysley at Ms. Garcia's residence, what did you observe about Kaysley?
Kaysley, she was still in her spica cast. She's very talkative. She appeared very comfortable in the home.
This is the ask. CPS wants temporary managing conservatorship, which means full legal control over where Kaysley lives, who sees her, and what services get provided. Given the drug exposure, broken leg, unsafe home, and multiple refusals, the court's almost certainly going to say yes. At this point, they've got every reason to.
She's very comfortable with Miss Garcia. She did talk to me a little bit. I tried to interview her because of her age. It was pretty limited. But she did talk about seeing her mom smoke. She talked about her mom going fast in the car, and that's what hurt her leg and her head. But overall, I mean, she appeared very happy in the home.
Okay, and is Ms. Garcia's home the home where the child is currently placed?
Yes, it is.
And has a kinship home study already been initiated for Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
At that time, what concerns did Ms. Garcia voice about Ms. Taylor?
She was concerned that Miss Taylor hadn't reached out to talk with Kaisley at all since she had been in her care.
Okay. Let's see. Following that day, did you make several attempts to contact Ms. Taylor?
Yes, I have attempted to contact Miss Taylor by phone, by text, by visiting Mr. Vargas's home as well as the Bashaw residence. They told me at the Bashaw residence that she no longer lives there. I've tried emailing her. Yeah.
And as well, was part of your attempt to let me rephrase. During one of your attempts to contact her, did you offer a family team meeting to Ms. Taylor?
Yes, I did.
What is a family team meeting?
A family team meeting is where we get together, the department representatives, so myself and my supervisor, as well as a coordinator, and then Whitney Taylor and any of her supports. We would also like any, that could be family, friends, the other parents, anybody to discuss the facts of the case and come up with a plan for safety for the child.
And would that have been another opportunity for the department to create a plan where the mother could receive services but avoid removal of the child?
Yes.
However, did Ms. Taylor ever respond to that offer?
No.
And in fact, what communication has Ms. Taylor had with you at this point in the investigation?
I have not heard from her since the day I visited with them at the home on September 15th.
And have you made attempts to call
Yes.
and attempts to text?
Yes.
Do you believe that Ms. Taylor has your phone number blocked at this point?
Yes, because I attempted to call her on a different phone, and the calls were going through. I have heard since then that her phone is broken, so I don't know if she has access to a phone right now, but I do believe she blocked me.
Okay. Can you please explain the department's reasonable efforts to prevent or eliminate removal?
Yes. We tried working with the family. I made several attempts to work with Whitney to come up with a plan, whether that be for supervision or allowing Kaisley to stay with dad while we work, family-based safety services, or Texas Family First. I offered the family team meeting. I have attempted several times to get in contact with Miss Taylor to continue to work with her and help connect her to various services. I've tried reassuring her that we just want what's best for Kaisley. We want to work with her, but she has not been responsive to me at all. I have been working closely with Mr. Salter, communicating with him pretty regularly about Kaisley. The department has tried offering visitation, or St. Francis has attempted visitation, and there has not been any responses for that as well.
Okay, so right now, are we facilitating visitation for Mr. Salter, the alleged father, with the child?
Yes.
And have we made several attempts to set up visitation for Ms. Taylor with the child?
I believe so.
And it sounds like those actions or attempts have been unsuccessful. Is that correct?
That's correct.
As far as additional reasonable efforts to reunify the family since removal, besides visits and attempt to set up visits, is placing the child with somebody close to the family also an attempt to reunify the family?
Yes.
And are we asking the court to order genetic testing today?
Yes.
And is that as well to adjudicate if he is the father, Mr. Salter being the father to the child?
Yes.
And if he is the father to the child, then will we start working reunification with Mr. Salter?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any, are we asking the court to order drug screens for Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
Are we asking the court to order drug screens on Mr. Salter?
Sure.
Are we asking for both a hair follicle and urinalysis for Ms. Taylor and Mr. Salter?
Yes.
Okay. And as far as Mr. Potter, what attempts have we made to locate Mr. Potter?
I ran an accurate or had somebody run an accurate report, which provides the most updated phone number and address for him. We were able to locate him in Utah. I've attempted to contact him by phone and I've sent him letters, and I haven't heard anything back.
Thank you. Are we asking the court today to name the department temporary managing conservator of the child?
Yes.
Thank you. I pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins, questions?
Thank you. Ms. Braden, did Mr. Salter or Ms. Taylor talk about how they met or had a relationship?
I don't recall.
Okay. And the child is almost 3, is that correct?
She is 3.
She is 3. Okay, thank you. And in regards to Mr. Salter, did he talk about having contact with her since she was born?
Yes. He has had a regular FaceTime visits with her since she was born, as well as the last time I knew that he had had face-to-face contact with her was whenever she injured.
A last-minute note of hope. Salter has had FaceTime contact with the child. That emotional thread could lead to a future placement, if he's cleared by testing and shows a stable living situation. Judges love reunification stories, but you need the foundation: proof, safety, and structure. Otherwise, even good intentions can't fix chaos.